Hopefully he can turn around. And Pravin has always been a staple at these tournaments, coming to us from Houston. Good batch of Houstonians in the room. This is day one. We've got 4 days in total. The round robin will conclude tomorrow and then force us into the 32-player knockout stage. And semifinals and finals are slated for the holiday Monday, as it's Memorial Day weekend in the United States of America. Time to salute the veterans for all that they've done to keep this great nation going. If you have any comments or questions, we've got an active chat. Feel free to chime in. Do let us know where you're tuning in from. Maybe put your support. Obviously the hometown favorite of Ansari is at the table right now. I think he does have to be a little bit mindful. That beard, if he's amongst the balls, even a whisker of the hair touches an offending ball, it's going to be a foul. It didn't. I'd have to pull up a lot more to be on the blacks. He's really not on anything here. These round robin matches are best of 3. And then when we were into the knockout phase, all the knockout rounds up to the quarterfinals are best of 5. And then the semifinals will be best of 7, concluding with a best of 9 final that will happen on Monday. And if you want any results, check out cloudsnooker.com. It's cloudsnooker.com. That has the live scoring tab. Just make sure you find the correct tournament. The U.S. National Tournament. So we have 8 tables in action here at the Champion Snooker Club. And this looks like a good start for Ansari. He's amongst them there. He's definitely can put some good points together. He's playing at the pace I think that he enjoys. Swift moving. Yeah, they say it's a thinking person's game, but sometimes you don't want to think too much. See the shot, take the shot, execute the shot, and oh, there's some shot. You got to raise 2 hands up for that kind of fluke. Tried the double and cannon into another red and popped it in. It's quite the plant. Unfortunately, his cue ball has gone a little tight to that cushion. Just making his choice of bulk or the blue tricky. be able to use a little bit more of the cue ball in the pink, but that's a longer pot, and if he's to miss that, he's going to leave the white ball in a world of reds. I'm going to play that just with an element of safe. Looks like a little discussion is going on over at the scoreboard, making sure everything is accounted for. It was great sportsmanship of this game as Bob Himani and Tom Leemore just had an epic battle about an hour ago. Those are two top players, definitely. They could go really deep in this tournament. So sworn enemies on the table, but looking around the room, they're enjoying a nice chat, a little bite to eat before their next match, and then enjoying the sights and sounds. Always great to see that everyone gets along off the table. But obviously, as they always say, there's no friends on a snooker table. Ooh, just a little high on that shot. Getting a little ugly this frame. Cluster of 5 reds on the left side of the table. Ansari might try the blind cut. No, he's going to go take one of the outermost red here of the 4. Oh, played it nicely. Good angle on the black. Just stun up for this red that's out in the open. Oh, maybe he just got ahead of himself a little bit there. Started thinking more about that red than the black in front of him. There might be a roll up here. Just trying to see, really, there's not really I think that yellow is pretty tight. That ball cushion, if it was off a little bit, I would think more just to get nestled in behind it. That was the smartest shot he could have played there. Obviously playing it at pace makes it that much more difficult. He had to work with his cue ball to be on a red, where there was a simple roll up on the blue. We didn't go in off, that's okay, but thin cut on this red that's near the black spot. Kind of play it with a shot to nothing as he can come up maybe for the pink. Ooh, a little too thin in that cannon, the yellow might hurt him. Is there a pathway by that black? It doesn't look like it. What a cut that would have been. Wow. These guys are certainly going for their shots here. Playing maybe a little bit more aggressive. Not that bad to see. Haven't heard of any really high breaks so far in the room. We do have a runner to maybe find out what the high run of the tournament is. Definitely let you know. Very clever. So Pravin could be in a bit of trouble here. The veteran right there. Like to see with Pravin just making a little mark with the chalk. Very nice to see. So our great staff behind the scenes is reigning U.S. national champion Renat Denka. Has a high break of the tournament right now at 77. The caliber of all these players, and just with this tournament in day one, 3 more days to go, I could see that high break falling, potentially a century. That's 2 misses. Pravin thinking maybe a different way to go. She's the age-old philosophy sometimes. When you are in a snooker, find that object ball you want to hit, and with your cue ball, find the middle spot, and then in that middle spot, make a line directly going towards a corner pocket, and on that same trajectory, come back to your cue ball and hit in the same line, a little bit of left side, and you should be able to come off 2 cushions and be successful to hit your object ball. And now they got a couple balls to replace, so Ansari is definitely going to put him back. Pravin just questioning his opponent of how many attempts. That's an interesting actually point there that I'd never heard actually discussed, because there are only a few things usually you can ask to a referee, and obviously in this situation your opponent is acting as the referee, as there's no referees designated for each table. Hopefully somewhere down the line we can have that, but boy, it would be a tight room with another body going around all these tables at each table. But that's an important kind of call right there, with Pravin asking how many attempts he's made. As they do state that on the 4th attempt, if there's just a push-out shot, not an actually worthwhile attempt, it is another foul, and a miss continues to happen. But then there's some greats like 2005 world champion Sean Murphy, feeling like the foul and miss call should be go away. It was introduced a while back that when players were in a snooker, they were just actually deliberately missing just to create the advantage, putting their opponent in a more tougher position. while only sacrificing potentially the 4-point fouls. So they wanted to curb that, but definitely, if you want to get in a lengthy conversation with referees, snooker players, and anyone around this game, bring up the foul and miss. Everyone's got their opinion on it. We'd love to hear your opinion. If you want to chime in, the chat is open. Oh, Brendan Donahue. Thanks for the kind comments. Yeah, sometimes we do have to get some food in our bellies, or we might just fall into the Pacific Ocean out here on the West Coast. So yeah, looking forward to that tournament, Brendan. Don't worry, I won't take lunch breaks over there as long as you bring me some of those delicious Irish meat pies. So yeah, we'll see Ansari, seeing how he really plays. He's struggling a little bit in his last televised match against Patrick Gigi, but he was telling me off the table Patrick was playing a little, I don't think he was playing deliberately slow. Some players have a style where they're not as quick as others. And Ansari was just feeling he couldn't get going. This might be a costly miss from Pravin. Trailing by 39 points, there's 51 on, so he still can get back in the frame, but he's gifted a definitely great chance here. Ansari. He just needs a red in a pretty high valued color. Like if he's just to put this pink in, just wondering if there is a pathway past the pink into the red. It didn't go. That was his frame ball there. Just a little pacey on that double. Let's put it out in the open. It's a mid-range pot here for Ansari. Yeah, this is what we wanted to see. Kind of getting a little surprised in that first match with Ansari that I commentated on. I'm like, you think a room owner, as much as there's a lot of things to do to keep a room going, but you've got the keys, you've got access to snooker tables all the time, you might have some form. So 43 in it and 35 on the table. Obviously the ruling in this tournament is when we get to the colors. If more than 3 snookers are required for a frame win, it is a concession. The two feelings is at least to keep the tournament moving along. And I think a little instruction tool, as obviously there's not a rich history of the game of snooker in America. So it's kind of teaching some of the new players that concessions do happen, just in the way of good sportsmanship. As you can see, Ansari is just kind of, let's see, Tom Collins, or I should say Tommy Collins. Tom Collins is Tommy's dad. Tommy or Tom, I should say, who passed away a few years back. That's what they're all playing for here, the Tom Collins Trophy. Tom Collins did a lot of great things for snooker in America. And Tommy is continuing to carry that torch. Pretty much the red ball is the frame ball for Ansari. Ooh. Red puts him down by 42. I think this, unfortunately, is going to be a concession. Need to get a color ball in there, and there it is. So, Ansari takes that first frame by a scoreline 56-14. We'll step aside for frame 2 action from the United States National Snooker Championship live here in Concord, California. These guys are quick to get on it. Step aside in the booth. Lots of people in the room. It's actually old friends. Sometimes pop and say hello. Always a great community in a snooker room. Seems like a lot of the UK sports. Rugby is a great example of that. as there's fierce warriors on the pitch, battling up, bloody scars in that game. Staunch enemies, but as soon as the final whistle blows, they're usually off to the pub, both teams, and enjoying a cold one after the match. Same can be said about the game of snooker. Their battlefield is a 6x12 green based table. They'll fight as hard as any veteran that was honored this weekend. But when the battle is done, handshakes are had, and good times continue on. Was possibly a red into the right middle, but if he misses that, oh, this is a shot. Oh, wow. I have to say, Ansari is definitely an exciting player so far. As much as it was a fluke, it definitely was the shot of the tournament. We scroll back a little earlier today when Ansari took on Patrick Gigi in their second frame. Ansari had a ball into the top right corner. Hit it with such gusto that it rattled and it popped up and landed on the long rail and slid down that cushion and fell right into the middle pocket. I think I've only seen that once before, and it was of the brown ball. And the professional player's name is eluding me right now, so if anyone in the chat can remind me of that player, I can picture him right now. Maybe for a break I might do a little research to find out who that player was, but let's see what Ansari can do here. It's always a tough shot. Got to be really delicate and don't know what's going on in the middle there. Not just gonna lightly tap. Doesn't want to push it. And just a practice stroke. Might put out. I think in that case maybe Pravin might have wanted just to see if there's a roving referee in the room just to take a look at it. But it is up to the players at the table. Our roving referees are in the room. They're not dedicated to a certain table. But if they are summoned, they will come over and fulfill their duties. Our good friend Dave Daly's doing a dynamite job of roving refereeing, playing. I believe he's going to be doing the finals. Got some unorthodox style, that's for sure. Ansari. Gone for maybe the middle. He's given Pravin a chance. Yeah, that's rolled down. A light, delicate little roll in with some follow. He could stay just high. Ooh, maybe there's just a bit more of an angle of thought. I thought he could just roll that red in, stay high on the blue, the natural angle to come back down table. Punish these players. You get to see many frames that are one-frame visits. When you get chances against some of these players, you've got to really accumulate a lot of points. And Pravin's just got to be mindful of that black ball along the cushion. Bringing out the rest so he doesn't just rub his vest against that black ball. Be a big 7-point foul. And wow. Look at that shot. Just great with the rest. Right in the middle of the pocket. Didn't use any of the jaws to help it. Can it into the reds ever so nicely to flick on and be just plumb on a yellow. Pravin, where you been all my life with those shots? He's maybe one of the more shorter players on the circuit, so he's definitely got to make sure that rest is his best friend. A good friend back up in Canada, Gary Spence, told the story many times, but I think many people enjoy it. And he was playing once with the rest and just playing absolutely terrible. And a pretty big name in snooker in Canada was looking on, Big Bill Werbeniuk. Everyone knows Bill. Obviously, he's the man that definitely could drink Canada dry. You notice that Gary was just abysmal with the rest and said, Gary, we're going to play a frame and all our shots are going to be taken with the rest. So, smart advice from Big Bill. It's unfortunate he passed away some years now. But definitely a character of the game. Always was up for having fun and right at the toolbox. Pravin's got all the shots in there. Definitely giving Ansari a run for his money. Could have done maybe with a little walk around the table there. Just feeling that sometimes when you get that fluke, the heart goes a little quicker. Feeling a little excited. And more often than not, the next ball that goes in doesn't find the bottom of the pocket. But that wasn't the case for the great Cliff Thorburn, who way back in 1983 at the World Championship fluked a red in. Was able to make do on the next black, and that was followed up by 14 more reds with blacks, and then he ran the colors to be the first player to ever have a maximum break at the Crucible. Now some people say it's the first televised, and all the way through it was, but at the Latta Classic in 1982, Steve Davis did have a 147 on the TV table, but unfortunately mid-break the camera crew had to break for their union lunch, so it wasn't shown in its entirety. Guess we might have, on that point of union breaks, maybe we should have told Sargon Isaac that we were, during his match, we were going to take our scheduled lunch break. And probably when we come back, knowing he made a maximum. So lots of balls are finding their way down to the bulk end. Close second frame here. Just 17 to 10. Pravin Patel, man from Houston. Part of that great Houston scene. Actually, last year this great U.S. national tournament was scheduled to be in Houston, but unfortunately things didn't work out. It seems like in California there is a love for this game. Well, they've got 9 tables in the facilities here at the Champion Snooker Club in Concord, California. Just a little further east in Mendoza. I believe that is the correct city. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. They have 8 snooker tables and 6 8-foot tables. My good friend Stephen Wong down at Embassy Billiards has 10 snooker tables, I believe, and a few Chinese 8-ball, a few 8-ball tables. So California is really growing the sport. And really, our good friend Mike Dominguez up in Seattle, Washington, really was a big Kickstarter. We're there for the battle of the border battle, shall I say, at Bays. Unfortunately, it was a great event, a great opening, lots of energy, spirits were high, but that was down on February 29th of 2020. And unfortunately, we all know what happened a few weeks later. The world shut down due to the pandemic. But Mike and his team are avid Q Sports enthusiasts. So they tied up their shoes a little tighter, regrouped, and created Ox Billiards. It's just a wonderful facility that they've created down there. Porkis is going, but the lights are very bright. They are using these rather perimeter lights. I've seen them, but I've not seen them in person until this weekend. So they're almost, they're above the table, and they're kind of the size of a small pool table, but just kind of track lighting, only maybe 3 or 4 inches in width all around the track. I don't think they have any dimmers controlled to it, so I haven't heard any real complaints yet from the players. There was maybe just a few complaints earlier on in the day, as this building does face east, so there's a lot of big windows in the building and little cracks of sunshine was coming through. But now that we've gotten to the afternoon and the sun is headed west and the blinds are up, it's all artificial light. pathway there. Sometimes the TV monitor can be deceiving. Definitely that red in the open was not passing that red and blue, so the lonely little pink on the business end of the table. 5 reds and all the colors up into the bulk area. And only 17 each. Don't think did he hit that enough? I think he might have left a pathway. Sorry. Can he get by that green? That says yes. Going to go up and down table with this green. Just be mindful of that black with that beard. I'd be calling a ref over if I was Pravin, but the great Rory McLeod was once guilty of a beard foul. Also could have been one of those psychological head games if Pravin had just jumped in and just asking a referee to take a look. Ansari, Ansari was questioning why. Pravin would acknowledge it looks pretty close to a beard foul. Every red's tied up now. I think he's going to just try and run and find himself on the... I thought he might have clipped and come off a couple cushions and gone down to the business table and tried to get onto that cushion. Like what Pravin has done here. Might be a little bit of a long plant here. It certainly is possible. He gave it every chance. He hasn't really sold out. I think on our next TV match we're going to have a battle of the British Isle over there. Dave Daly, living in Seattle now, originally from Ireland, taking on Mike Collier, who comes from England. So an England-Ireland battle set to take place at the conclusion of this match. Pravin wants to prolong the start of that match. But see, Ansari is doing a good job to get it a whitewash here. always tricky with the rests. You have to add the mini butt a little bit, so a little bit more weight, so you don't have to hit it as hard. Might have took away a little bit of that delicacy. .30-17, 43 on the table, only 13 in it. See Ansari with a 1 frame advantage in this best of 3 round robin match. Day 1 of the 2025 U.S. National Snooker Championship. We're located at the Champion Snooker Club in Concord, California. Got space for sitting if you want to swing by. Admission is free. The drinks are cool. The snacks are plentiful. He might have been able to take that pink and maybe come off some cushions and be in better shape for the red. But the brown was the easier spot, making a long, difficult red. But they're not difficult when you're stroking like that. I think I'll be okay with that double kiss. It doesn't look like he has the snooker there. .24 in it and 27 on the table. See Ansari. Looks like he might have him in snooker. Should be an easy escape. Cushion first. Could get nicely behind the green. Oh, he had a path. And sometimes when your back is up against it, you find that potting stroke. Oh, if he could run out this table, that would be a colossal steal for Pravin. Just take it one step at a time. Obviously, black is in a tough position, but brown, blue, and pink are open. I don't know if he needed to hit it that hard. Slow down. Okay, it's okay. It's on its spot. This is a shot these players practice a lot. Blue's off the spot. Into the middle. Obviously, he's going to have to go up and down table if he decides for that, if he takes it in the green pocket. Just kind of maybe wiggled it a little bit with that follow through. Obviously, the middle pocket's much more open than the green pocket, but green probably would have put him in a nice position to be on that pink and maybe a good angle just to roll up behind the black on the cushion, or at least have the angle maybe to open up the black slightly to get it closer to the pocket. But that's nor here nor there now, as he's missed that blue into the right middle. There's a gift and a chance for C. Ansari, but definitely potential that He might be able to get behind the black. He just has to hit the right angle. Just left of the blue in the center. He maybe could squeak over off that bulk cushion and nestle behind the black. Oh, he gave it an effort. He tried. Didn't leave the blue on, so good save. Ooh, double kiss there. Oh, that went from bad to worse there. So Pravin just does need one snooker to get back in it. So there's 20 in it and 18 on the table, but he's given Ansari ball in hand. It's a long blue. We just couldn't convert. You would think that he could get it. It's his room. He knows these tables inside and out. He just has a wry smile with himself as he walks off the table, probably just kicking himself a little bit. You know, he's made those shots 9 times out of 10, but come tournament play, anything is missable. Now does he just tap that blue ever so gently just to push it and get behind the black? I don't think he maybe didn't want to disturb that black. He's happy with where it is in that safe position there on the left cushion. Where these balls going to end up. You can see Pravin throws his hands up. He's not happy with it. I like that shot. He's trying for the double, maybe even the triple. This puts a lot of distance between object ball and cue ball. Ooh, this is a thin cut if he tries to take it on. Black has come out. Just left it, but he's left it in the jaws there. Pravin's gonna possibly have to come off. Can get by the pink to come off the top cushion. No, that's in. Hoping he's aware of the scoreboard. Because there's 20 in it. Well, actually now there's 15 in it. I think this is a colossal collapse. I don't think he realizes it. He can't believe it. Oh my goodness. He just lost track of the score. Wondering what he was doing putting that pink in. Big commiserations to Pravin Patel. Just a lapse of brain. So, see, Ansari wins that match by 2 frames to nothing. Looked like he was going to win it, but just a mental collapse there by Pravin. But we're going to step aside for a few short moments. We might just jump in and maybe get an interview with the winner. But it looks like next on our TV table will be Dave Daly from Ireland and Mike Collier from England. That's a salty battle there. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back.